Welcome to this 30-minute yoga class. I'm Andrea, and I'm so glad that you're here. Today we're going to become peaceful warriors. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? I'm standing on a yoga mat. If you have one, that's great. If you don't, a carpeted area, something that isn't too slippery, is going to be just fine. I have a couple of yoga blocks. Thick books might work for you. Got a blanket, your throw blanket from your couch, or a really big beach towel would be great. And then I always have my chair just in case. So some of us will actually prefer the chair to the tall blocks for what we're doing today. And I have my blocks situated behind me on the long edge of my mat. That would be a good position for you to find your blocks in or your books in if you think of it before we get started. And then we will start facing the long edge away from our positioned blocks, if in fact you're using your blocks, in a Tadasana. So feet hip distance, palms turn away from each other, stand tall, a little soft bend in your knees. Chin parallel to the ground and your gaze out in front of you as if you were looking at a bright horizon. Begin to find your breath through your nose. Let it become an amazing tool to bring you here, now. So as tempting as it is to try to think about what's going to happen next and what a peaceful warrior is, or to remember something that happened earlier today, see if you can fully inhabit this moment, this pose, this breath, right now. Staying present is key to becoming more peaceful. And we are peaceful warriors on our mat and off. Last couple moments here. And continue to face the long edge of your mat. Standing in your Tadasana, we add on with a half sun salutation. Inhale, arms out to the side, up to the sky, V shape. And for this first one, just exhale and return your arms along your side. Have a soft buffer of bend in your knees. Once more. Inhale, arms out to the side, V shape overhead. An uplift of the low belly. And then exhale, release your arms along your side, palms face out. Adding on, inhale, arms out to the side, V shape overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands to your thighs, a little fold, and then inhale and extend your heart forward, smiling your collarbones, feeling that uplift of the belly. Exhale and increase the fold at the hips just a little, just a smidge. And then inhale, arms out to the side, up to the sky, V shape as we stand upright. And then arms along your side. Catch a glimpse of that bright horizon. Again, inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, a V shape. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands to your thighs. Inhale your heart forward, shoulder blades on your back, no slouch. Exhale, increase the hinge just a little. Inhale, standing, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. And then stand into your mountain, palms face away from each other. One more time. It's not repetition, it's ritual. Inhale, arms to the sky. Saluting the sun. Exhale, hands on your thighs, hinge at the hips. Inhale, heart reaches forward. Exhale, increase the hinge at the hip as you fold, and then inhale, arms out, up, V shape, thumbs to the sky. Stand into your mountain. Step wide. And your arms out to the side will be your guide. You're going Gonna see if you can maybe have ankles underneath your wrists. Keep your palms to the sky, or at least your thumbs to the sky, so we don't run into shoulders, into ears. Turn your right leg out so that your right foot faces the short edge of your mat completely. Cheat your left heel back at a 45-degree angle. Bend your right knee, and you want to try to make it a vertical line. So you can take a look at your own body and make sure that you've got ankle and knee in a vertical line. And then just straighten your front leg as we're here. We're going to make it a little bit of a peaceful warrior dance. Bend the front knee. Straighten the front leg. If it's a long time with your arms up, bring your hands onto your hips instead. Bending the front knee and straightening the front leg. It's like we're just oiling the machine, a little WD-40 here with dynamic movement, bending and straightening. Great, this time bend, and when you straighten, take that V shape like our sun salute overhead. And then continue that way, or if it's too much with your arms, hands on your hips is perfect. Bending and straightening. We're going to add on one more time. You ready? You can take breaks anytime. In fact, I encourage you to do so. It's a sign of advanced yoga. It's our story and we're sticking to it. Bend your front knee, right forearm across the thigh, thumb to the sky. Now we want to make it more of a hip hinge than a rounding, and certainly not a collapsing. So have a little teeny sense of karate chop in that forearm. And then come upright, straighten and take the V shape overhead. Bend the front knee, and then form across the thigh, thumb to the sky. We're adding to our dance, aren't we? Come upright, thumbs to the sky. Straighten the front leg, V shape overhead. Maybe your tempo is a little different than mine. That's great. We all dance to our own beat a bit, don't we? Form across the thigh, thumb to the sky. And then back upright, arms overhead. We'll do this a couple more times. If that was enough for you, take a break, find your breath, and then come back to the dance when you're ready. Now this time, when you bend the front knee and take your forearm across your thigh, leave it there. You might take your left arm a little bit higher to the sky. Now this is going to be very tempting to collapse. It's a habit that you and I probably both share. Keep the karate chop. Anytime you need to come upright, take a break and then come back in, that's what you do. Stand solidly into your right heel. Rotate your right ribs to the sky. Be careful that we're neither collapsed into the right shoulder or trying too hard with the left shoulder. We're peaceful warriors, remember? Last few moments, just like this. Now, be sure to firm through your belly, because we've been here lingering for a while. Upright into our warrior two, thumbs to the sky. If you need to, straighten your front leg. That's great. And then slow motion, if you haven't yet, straighten the front leg. V-shape maybe overhead, unless hands on your hips is where it wants to be. Because not to give away the secret, but we're all gonna now take our hands to our hips. Turn all toes to face the long edge of your mat. Heel toe your feet so that you're a little wider than hip distance. We'll take a sun salute in between sides. Inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, V-shape. Hinge at the hips, hands to your thighs. Inhale your heart forward. Now stay here because it's so sweet, isn't it? Your hands are on your thighs, your heart's extended forward, the crown of your head is extending long. Now just let an exhale fold you ever so slightly more at the hips. And then inhale, come all the way upright. Arms out to the side wide, thumbs to the sky. This is our measuring stick as we heel toe to our second side of our warrior stance. And it's probably going to take a little adjusting. That's what makes it fun. So it's not an exact science, it's a little different every time. Turn your left leg out, so that it faces that short edge of your mat. Cheat your right heel back at a 45-degree angle. And then bend your left knee. And then just see, I need a little adjustment for my stance. You might need it too. And straighten. Bend. And straighten. Remember, you can bring your hands to your hips. Especially once we get to side two, you can sort of feel like, good Lord, Andrea's got our arms held up forever. Make it challenging, but not too much. We'll add on, bend the front knee. Now when we straighten, V-shape overhead. Bend the front knee. V-shape overhead. Bend the front knee. V-shape overhead. Bend the front knee. V-shape overhead. Now this time, bend the front knee, take your left forearm across your thigh, right thumb to the sky. Now we want to be careful not to collapse that left knee to the left. Open it to the right, there's that little karate chop, right? We'll come upright, and then we'll take our V-shape overhead and straighten the leg. We're going to make that a little bit of a flow. Forearm across the thigh, thumb to the sky. Back through your warrior two, and then straightening. Now, a refining energy in the foundation is when our knee is bent, you feel your left heel, and then as we straighten the leg, you press into that left big toe mound, V-shape overhead. If that's too much to think about, don't overthink it. Just keep breathing and have a good time. Let it be peaceful, good fun. And next time we end up with our forearm across the thigh and thumb to the sky, we're going to stay and breathe and just let it steep here for a moment. Now that we're lingering, maybe you can find that idea of pressing into the left heel so that your hamstring, the back of the leg, actually feels invited to the peaceful warrior party. Try to make some space between your left shoulder and your left ear. Make sure that you're not fighting in the right shoulder. Peaceful warrior through and through. Last couple of moments as we are here. If it's too long, remember you can always firm your belly, come upright, take the break that you need. All of us will firm our belly now, come upright, thumbs to the sky, pause. We're kind of cooking with gas now, huh? Start to straighten your front leg. Press into that left big toe mound, arms to the sky, V-shape. And then hands to hips. Stay firm to the belly, turn all toes to face that long edge of your mat. Heel toe your feet so that they're a bit wider than hip distance. We'll take our little sun salutation between sides. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands to your thighs. Inhale, heart forward. This is where we hang out in the sweetness for a moment. Shoulder blades on the back, low belly drawing in, 2 moments. Firm through your feet and your belly. Let an exhale fold you at the hips just a little bit more. And then inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, upright. Arms along your side, turn the palms away from each other. Feel the majesty of your mountain here. This is where the blocks, or maybe using the seat of your chair, is going to be helpful. So you could take your chair, put it right in the middle of your mat so that it's easy for you to get your hand on the base of your chair for triangle, if that's how you like to do it. We'll take our measuring stick, arms out to the side, step out wide or heel toe out wide, turn your right leg out, cheat your back heel. Remember our warrior dance when we took our forearm across the thigh, head back in there. Right forearm across the thigh, left arm up to the sky. Now from here, you'll probably need to look down to find either your block or the seat of your chair with your right hand. And once you're solid there, keep it a hinge at the hip and begin to move your front leg towards straight for triangle. What we don't want is a side bend, so we don't want side flexion here. Remember how we were refining our leg straightening and pressing the big toe mound into the ground? You want to do that here too. So find that right big toe mound and that hinge at the hip. Spin the inner upper arms away from each other so you feel space and peace. 2 more moments where we are. Now to dismount, we're going to go back where we came from. Bend your right knee. Take your right forearm across your thigh. Firm through your feet and your belly. Come upright in warrior 2 and then slowly straighten the front leg. Turn all toes to face the long edge of your mat. We'll take side 2 right away. Turn your left leg out. Cheat your back heel. Arms out to the side, palms to the sky, bend your front knee. Forearm across the thigh, as we did in our dance. And then find the seat of your chair or your big book or block. And let your hand come to the seat of the chair or the book or the block. And once you're solid there, press into the left big toe mound, slow motion, like you don't want anyone to know you're straightening your leg. So we know we're using muscles and we're not misusing momentum. It's a hinge at the hip. Spin the inner upper arms away from each other so we don't end up a collision of shoulders and ears. And then find some peace. Keep breathing here, you're doing great. We have 45 more seconds here. If it's too long with your arm in the air, just take your arm alongside your body or behind your back. And if it's bothering your neck, you can always look down instead of out. 30 seconds more, I'll be quiet. Let you meditate. We come out the way we came in. Bend your front knee. Form across the thigh. Firm through your feet and your belly. Warrior 2 just for a moment, and then super slowly straighten that front leg. Turn all toes to face the long edge of your mat. Heel toe carefully. Feet together. Come to the front edge of your mat. Bring your chair to face you if you're using your chair. Bring your 2 blocks to either side of the front edge of your mat if those have been handy. And then stand into your mountain, your Tadasana at the front edge of your mat. A little bit of a sun salutation to get us where we're going. You also may want to have your blanket or folded beach towel nearby. We're going to come down to one knee and we'll be there for a moment, so padding might be your friend. Sun salutation, inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands to your thighs. Inhale your heart forward. Hands can go to the base of your chair or to your blocks. Step your left foot back. Lower your left knee onto your mat, or maybe better yet, lower your back knee. Take your folded blanket, place it underneath that knee. So forewarned is forearmed. We're going to be here for a little while. Have your back toes curled under. Find length through your spine. Both of your blocks will come to the inside of your right foot. Humble warrior, probably the most peaceful of all warriors. But it won't feel peaceful if you take it too far. I can promise you that. Staying just like this or staying with your hands on the base of your chair, perfect. Let your spine stay long. You can always scooch your right foot forward a little bit. Some of us might find that it's still peaceful with our forearms on blocks. If it's turning into a collapse, that's not the kind of peace we're looking to find. And then a prayer with your hands, a gentle interlace with your hands, or your hands are on your blocks, or they're on the base of your chair. Probably the trickiest part of all of this is that I'm going to let you stay here and breathe and meditate and let the sensations of this humble warrior, which I think are quite humbling, become a meditation for you. It'll probably be uncomfortable a little bit in the stretch, and it might be even more uncomfortable in the silence, the stretch of time where I'm not entertaining you. That's fine, it's normal. It's that way for me too. Use your breath here and really nerd out on the inhale and the exhale becoming a little bit longer. Maybe even make your exhale slightly longer than your inhale, inspiring the relaxation side of our nervous system. So here's the silence, okay? You got this. Stay with it, just a couple more moments. Now, if you're on your forearms, come onto your hands, move one of your blocks to the outside of your right foot, and using your hands on the base of your chair or on your blocks, start to straighten that leg. Now probably you kind of have to scoot it forward a little bit. Curl the toes back, just let that release. You did a great job. Stay humble, stay peaceful. Bend your front knee, curl the back toes under. Take your back knee off your mat. Hands can stay on the base of your chair or on your blocks. Firm through your belly as we step forward. Left foot next to right foot, hip distance. Inhale, heart forward, hands to shins. Exhale, hinge at the hips, hands to blocks. Step your right foot back. You can arrange the padding once we lower the knee down. Bring it underneath that right knee if it's helpful. So just give yourself the things that you need to be peaceful. And then once you've got yourself here, both blocks on the inside, and maybe you step your left foot to the left a little bit, find that really beautiful long spine. So just because we're humble doesn't mean we're slumped in the corner, yeah? We still have the integrity of our spine, the openness of our heart. And you can keep your hands on the base of your chair the whole time. You know that we're here for a little while. If it made sense to come onto your forearms, remember this is not a goal, you're not struggling, this is peaceful. And there's length through your spine. Breath stays steady. I'm going to leave you in even more silence on this side, so climb into your breath while we're still chatting. Really find it like a tool, like the best bow and arrow your warrior has. And allow the exhales perhaps to get just slightly longer than the inhales. So there's relaxation even though there's a little hint of effort in what we're up to. As uncomfortable as your hip might feel, and I don't want there to be sharp pain, just a little rumbling of something happening, probably the silence is equally uncomfortable. Totally get it. You're going to do this just fine for a full minute. And if you feel restless, that's normal. It's okay. Try to climb back into the exhale if you can. It's a practice. 1 minute here. See? You did it. You made it that minute. Great job. Firm through your belly. Come onto your hands. If you're not already, switch your block to the outside of your left foot or take your hands a little wider apart on the base of your chair. Straighten your left leg. Scoot it as far forward as it needs. Check back in with your beautiful long spine. We'll stay close to the ground in this transition. Rebend your right knee, and this time, right knee next to left knee. Move your props aside, so your blocks aside. I would stay on the folded blanket. In fact, I am going to stay on the folded blanket. Legs wide out to the side. So Upavishta Konasana is the Sanskrit name of this pose, in case that comes up at a party. Not that we go to parties anymore, a Zoom party. Just kind of what we're up to now, online fun. A peaceful warrior party. With your arms out to the side, take your hands behind you. Sit up tall, curl your toes back towards you. You might discover that you can take the legs a tiny bit wider. It's still a peaceful party. If you hinge at the hips and want to walk a little bit forward, for some of us there might be something to be found there. If it's turning into a slump or it's giving you prickly electrical feedback, not at our party. A couple moments here. Now, if you wandered it forward, just come upright. Bend your knees. I like to take the backs of my legs and help it along. Feet hip distance on your mat. Now do make sure that all the things that could get in your way are out of the way, including your folded blanket. And then lie back onto your back. We finish with a very gentle twist. Scoot your hips a little bit over to the left. Let your knees drop over to the right. You can just let the legs scissor. Bring that through center. Now just press into your feet. Scoot your hips a little bit to the right. It's like you're making space for a sweet little peaceful release. And then come down the middle. Either keep your feet as wide as your mat and let your knees fall in on each other. Bring your arms alongside you. I like to just carefully, 1 inch, lift my butt up off the ground, make a little space for my low back, and you can stay here in constructive rest or let your legs straighten and the feet flop open. Just ask your low back how it feels about that. Fall into the floor. Final Shavasana meditation. You're welcome to stay here in your final Shavasana meditation as long as you'd like. If you're ready to find your way back, gently move your fingers and toes. Bend your knees and place your feet on your mat and roll carefully to either side. Use your hands, the strength of your arms, to bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. You could even sit back on your folded blanket. Palms up or down on your lap. Take a moment before you go on with your day to feel your peace, so that as you step out as a warrior off your mat, this peace comes with you. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I'm Andrea, and I look forward to us doing this again together soon.